Okay, looks like we're recording. Welcome everybody to our health chat tonight. It is February right now, and that is Heart Health Month. And I'm sure, especially if you're here tonight, that this is a topic that is personal to you. I think everybody knows somebody, whether it be somebody you're related to, you yourself, or somebody that you know who has been affected in some way by heart disease. So it's a very important topic that I think is worth talking about all year, but especially this time of year, people are focusing on that. And as you probably know, heart disease happens to be still the number one cause of death in the United States, both men and women. And which I was just looking at some statistics, that is 1 in 4. So that's not a really great number. And me personally, and I'm sure some of you can relate to this, heart disease runs in my family, both sides, and including one side of my husband's family. I forgot to ask our other speakers tonight. I'm sure that they probably have people that they know or maybe are related to that are affected personally. So it is a near and dear topic for me, and it really affects men and women slightly differently as far as the symptoms. So, there's lots of information on the American Heart Association website. I think it's heart.org. You can look up. We're not going to, we're just going to keep this short tonight, so you can always dive deeper, or we can, have another conversation about more of the information. But I'm just going to introduce us real quick. I'm Rebecca Colby, and I live in Oxford, Mississippi. I'm Wisconsin born. I grew up in Wisconsin as well. And like I said, heart disease is something that is affected me personally in my life. And I live here with my husband and 2 kids and 2 dogs, and we try to stay as healthy as possible, which is why I like sharing on topics like this. And I'm joined with 2 of my co-hosts tonight, or co-speakers, and friends of mine. Jessica May is going to speak next. She's somebody that I went to college with in Wisconsin. Jessica's a teacher, and she's also a fitness instructor in Wisconsin, and has 4 children. And then Chris Coben is another speaker tonight that lives here in the same town as me, Oxford, Mississippi. Chris is a retired pharmacist, mom of 2, grandma of 4, I believe, and very active and fit. And both women are very inspirational to me. So I'm excited to present with them tonight. And like I said, stay tuned to the end, and we can save some time for questions as well. So this is our health chat that we're going to kind of go over just real quickly, different ways to keep that heart muscle, which is the hardest working muscle in the body, working properly. Talking a little bit about diet, exercise, and smart supplementation through Shackley. And as you can see here, your heart health depends a lot on the choices that we make every single day. A lot of it is really under our control. Some of it's hereditary, but a lot of it really is in our control. So I'm going to let Jessica share a little bit on the next few slides for you.
Sure, thank you. So the 4 key factors are here for maintaining a healthy heart, and maybe you see something on here that you are trying to focus on this year with maybe a resolution, or maybe there's something on here that you hadn't thought of. But the 4 key factors are not smoking, maintaining a healthy weight, exercising, and following a healthy diet. So very important for supporting a strong and healthy heart are your diet. So taking a look at what you're eating, and keeping your plate colorful. So looking at I know it's harder in the winter sometimes to get some of those fresh fruits and vegetables, but there are a lot of frozen I have found that are really wonderful, just as well as some of the fresh things that you can get in the summer. So keeping it colorful, eating at least 5 to 7 servings of fruit and veggies a day, and then avoiding the saturated fat, like fatty meats, full fat dairy, and fried foods. So maintaining a healthy weight for your waistline and for your heart. So they recommend if you lose 5 to 10% of your body weight, that it can really make a really big difference for your heart. And studies shown that you can significantly lower your risk of heart problems just by losing those inches around your middle.
Yeah, so those are all really important pieces of this. And another piece that we're going to kind of dive into a little bit more tonight is talking about, making the food choices can be really hard. And sometimes, just filling in the gaps with a good multiple vitamin or some foundational supplements can really be helpful.
All right, so you might have heard this before, that eating omega-3 rich fish at least 2 to 3 times per week is important to supporting your healthy heart. So some smart choices would be salmon, halibut, and mackerel. They have the omega-3 fatty acids in there. And so choosing seafood that's fished or farmed in ways that have less impact on the environment, and unfortunately finding clean and sustainable sources of omega-3 fish can be challenging. I know I've had trouble at times looking at the packaging and finding that. So supplementation, there we go, that's a big word tonight, is a good alternative to eating fish. I know my family, I can get them to eat it about once a week, and that's about it. So here's one of our great Shaklee products, Omega Guard, and it's a full spectrum of 7 ultra pure pharmaceutical grade omega-3 essential fatty acids, which are naturally found in the small cold water fish. And so Shaklee ensures the purity and potency in the fish oil, that it undergoes state-of-the-art molecular distillation process. So it concentrates the natural beneficial omega-3 fatty acids. It removes the lead, mercury, arsenic, all those other toxins and contaminants. It also reduces oxidation and the formation of trans fats. And they minimize the odor and the fishy aftertaste. I don't know if you've tried other fish oils, but I know I have, and sometimes they really do kind of have that really fishy taste. I know that's one of the reasons that I kind of didn't take it for a while. I had some bad experiences with some other products, but this Omega Guard is certified, sustainably sourced by Friend of the Sea. And Friend of the Sea is an internationally recognized nonprofit organization whose mission is to conserve the global marine habitat. So Omega Guard helps reduce the risk of heart disease. And in addition, it helps maintain the heart and cardiovascular system, and helps retain healthy triglyceride levels if you're concerned with that. It contains all 7 omega-3 fatty acids, including the EPA and DHA. And I really like this because I have trouble swallowing pills, and it comes in a smaller size, and I was gonna get mine out, but I didn't. But it's really easy to swallow, and it's naturally cholesterol free.
Chris, are you talking on this one?
I am sorry. I just realized I was muted.
Muted. Okay, sorry.
So this is about the heart and how it is the hardest working muscle in our body. And when you really stop and think about, from the time your heart first forms as a fetus in the womb till the time you take your last breath, that heart just keeps pounding, pounding, pounding. It's just, to me, it's just amazing when you stop and think about that. What a wonderful gift we have. And I always think back on when I was in pharmacy school. You can go to the next slide. But when I was in pharmacy school, when we talked about the heart, we talked about a few things that came from plants, in particular digitalis. There really weren't that many drugs back then. Sorry, it was like 50 years ago, which is hard to believe. But now I think back on, and I always wonder, what do they really teach in pharmacy school? Because we know so much more than we did back then. And one of the things is we know about CoQ10, and it is something that is naturally produced in the body, and it's present in all cells, and it helps to really give those cells energy. And you can have you make your own CoQ10 in your body naturally, but as you get older, you tend to decrease the amount that you make naturally, and a lot of times you will start to see the effects of that by your heart just not having the strength that it had as a younger person. And I will have to say that in all of these products, it does take time. It's not something that you're going to take and you're going to immediately see a difference. It may take weeks or months before you really can tell a difference with them. But they're all very important, especially with this one. And yes, we can get it from our diet, but as you can see here, you would have to eat 10 pounds of pistachios to get, the 100 milligrams of CoQ10 that you really need. And this product also has resveratrol in it, which I'm sure you hear about a lot. It's in red wines. And again, one of those things where, well, if you really want to get enough resveratrol, you'd have to drink a lot of wine. So, we have to depend sometimes on supplementation to really get what we need. You can also realize too that people who are on statins, a lot of times that's very important that they take CoQ10. Also can be very important for diabetics. You may have heard with, say, like statins, that you get into muscle weakness and pain, and this CoQ10 can help alleviate that problem and hopefully get you to the point where you don't have to take the statins. That's really the important part, if you can get away from taking the statins, because every time you take those drugs, there's some side effects going on. You can read the list in the package insert or listen to when you're watching TV commercials, you can hear all of the side effects that come with most drugs. And let's see, what's the next slide?
I think I'm going to speak on that one, Chris, but I was just going to throw in about the CoQ Heart or the CoQ10. I've heard many of us work with Joyce Hoffman, who is a registered nurse. She worked at Mayo Clinic for many years, and she's been working with Shaklee and Shaklee supplements since the 60s. And I heard her speaking on this topic once, and she said, CoQ Heart, this product is so important for circulation, especially if you're concerned about heart disease, as I'm sure you are because you're here tonight, but also if you're over the age of 40. People in general should be thinking about the circulation, and this product really helps. David and I both take this, and it's just a great one. And, like the CoQ Heart, Chris kind of touched on some things that kind of lead into the next slides, but adding plant sterols, stanols to your diet really help with cholesterol. And a lot of people that I talk to are concerned about cholesterol levels because number one, they might run, high cholesterol might run in their family like it does for me, but also it could be something that they're just concerned about. Maybe their doctor said to watch for some reason. So there are some things that you can do, diet and exercise. That's really the foundation of what we're talking about. But sometimes people need some extra support in that area. And, the smart supplementation piece that we're talking about comes into play. This is the cholesterol reduction complex. And you can see how you'd have to eat all of this to get every day, 47 and a half cucumbers, 59 oranges, 6.5 cups of, GMO, non-GMO soybeans to get what you're getting in the plant sterols and stanols in this product. And I'll just tell you just a personal story. My father had heart disease, and cholesterol was an issue for him, and he had been on some drugs for that to reduce that. And when this product had come out a number of years ago, he had started to take this product, and over time was able to, wean off of the drugs and use some of the more natural products, and was able to successfully, help with his cholesterol. So all of these are really good, clean options for adding to your regimen. But of course, we always recommend talking to your physician as well if you're under doctor care and you're concerned about that. Let's see, Chris, I think you're next on this one. Is that right?
That's right, yes. So talking about stress, and of course, everybody does, I'm sure, experience stress in their life, especially after the past year or so. So things that can really impact you from your stress is, of course, it can increase your blood pressure, it slows your digestion, and it can weaken your immune function, and it's bad for your heart. And there are many things you can do to help reduce stress. Be interesting to know what, start thinking about what do you do to impact your stress and to decrease it. So there's things like exercise, meditation, getting away from computers and cell phones, and simply laughing more. I like to listen to music and read a book or just deep breathing exercises. So when you start talking about blood pressure, many times as we get older, your blood pressure will start to go up, especially your systolic, which is the high, the first number. And of course, I experienced that myself. I had always had, good blood pressure. It was always around 120 over 80. And then I started, when I go to the doctor, it was like 130 over, 70 or 80. It was that high, top number that kept going up a little bit, 130 and 140. And that is kind of normal and, some pretty much expected to happen. But I did decide to start taking the blood pressure. And I just take this one once a day, and I've taken it for several months now. And my blood pressure is back down where I want it to be. So I caught it before I had to go on any blood pressure medicine, because I really just didn't want to have to do that. So I'm happy that that's happened. But there are, basically what's in the blood pressure. You can see here it includes beet powder and quercetin, magnesium, and spinach powder. Also has some potassium nitrate in it. And that just kind of helps, keep your blood pressure where you want it to be. And again, this is one of these products that you can't take it and, next week, oh, I'm going to be cured, or and there are no cures. We don't talk about cures with Shaklee, but we can help to make our body healthier so that we can stave off the things, that come with old age or with just the stress of life. So we do have two regimens here, one of them for cholesterol and one for the blood pressure. Yeah. And of course, I think this is where you take over, Rebecca.
Yeah, no, that's all really great information. And one of the things I just wanted to touch on for anybody who's not familiar, with Shaklee, it's a company that's been around since the 1950s. It's the leading natural nutrition company in the United States. And as you can see here, all of our products have this 100% guarantee. So if you wanted to, try anything or talk to us more about it, that is something that the company always stands by. And, we have all of the safety and the testing. And that's actually why my husband, some of you might know, David, is a professor at the university here, and he actually works with natural products, dealing with supplements like we're talking about tonight, and also pharmaceuticals. He's a pharmacist like Chris and a PhD chemist, and that's his area of expertise. So when David 10 years ago started to look at the science behind what Shaklee offers and the safety, the provenness, everything about the integrity of the products, the pharmaceutical grade and all of that, third-party testing, he was more than impressed. And that's why we started to personally use the products. Again, I should say I grew up with them and just kind of get away from them. But everything has this guarantee, and always like to make sure that I mention that, or we mention that. So there's a few other things I just wanted to mention real quick before we close tonight. And this is something that if you're not familiar or haven't taken the personalized assessment that's online called Meology, we can get you a link that you can take. It takes about 5 minutes. And it goes through a lot of just basic, family history, health questions to understand your nutrient needs, because it's really difficult these days to get what we need from food. Even if we're eating healthy, even if we're trying to eat organic, which can be very costly, right? But, trying to eat and doing the right things sometimes really isn't enough in this day and age with what our food is like. So this gives you an idea of what might be some suggestions. It's personalized with these packets, and it's a pretty neat scientifically based assessment that we can pass on the link if you're interested in that. And we have some specials going on right now for anybody that might be interested. This is one of our favorites to share because it is such a great foundation for heart health, but also overall health. It's called the Prove It Challenge, and we have some really nice specials that makes it around $5 a day, and you get a free 7-day healthy cleanse kit, which could really help jumpstart things with weight loss, which can lead to a healthier heart if you're carrying extra weight right now that you need to maybe or want to get rid of. This is a really great place to kind of start reversing metabolism, and increasing that, reducing sugar cravings and such, but also, having the heart working in the right direction, and keeping us healthy. The last thing that I wanted to mention tonight is we have a 2-week Move More challenge. There is no purchase necessary for this wonderful challenge that we're leading with some other leaders in Shaklee. This is on Facebook, if you're on Facebook. And basically, we're just encouraging ourselves and the people that are participating to move more, exactly what it says, to move more. If you're really sedentary, to increase by a little bit. If you're already active, to maybe, keep doing that and encourage other people, or maybe work other activities into your workout routine day to day. We're going to have some prizes. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of information we're sharing with people. And again, there's no purchase necessary, but you can get points for prizes, and sometimes taking some foundational supplements as part of that. But it's really personalized to how you want to do this challenge. And we would love to have you guys join us. The last thing I just wanted to mention real quick before I stop the recording and we'll go to questions is one thing that we didn't put on that I've been reading about lately is vitamin D. Vitamin D is in the news a lot for many different things, and I've been learning how this is an important vitamin that you can use for heart health, as well as what you've probably heard, bone health, mood, immune health. We hear about that a lot right now, right? So vitamin D, D3 is a really great one for heart health as well. It helps to reduce the risk for heart disease, reduce inflammation, reducing blood pressure, keeping the muscle working more. So I wanted to mention that since it's so much in the news right now. So I'm gonna stop the recording so we can take some questions. Let's see if I can, how about we do this? We'll stop the share first and I'll stop the recording.